What's good, YouTube? Yo, 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 we back, baby. What's good? It's nice to see you guys. Salute to you guys. Happy Saturday. Let's go, let's go. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to Saturday. We here, baby. So I just wanted to come to you again. You guys, you know how we do. You know how we do. So today, before we get into episode number 2 on this live of where expats should live here in Vietnam, man, I just wanted to give you guys a little nugget and let you know that later on I'm going to be live again talking about this. All right, so let me share my screen with you guys real quick, and I'm not going to say a whole bunch right now about this, but I wanted to. If you guys know this picture, you know who this person is. You've heard it all over the internet. I'm gonna give my 2 cents about this here in Asia, and so it's time, Black folks. It's time. It's time to rise up. It's time to start owning our own shit. All right. I'm Black first, and I respect all people first and foremost. But this is bullshit. Okay, so Black people, I see you, love you. We've been going through too much for far too long. It's time. All right. So I will be live later. Okay. So we'll talk about it. All right. But this live right now, let me get this off the screen. So later on, I'll be live. All right. So we're gonna talk about Vietnam. We're gonna talk about Hanoi. Okay. So last week this is episode 2. So if you weren't involved in last week's live, we talked about Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City, and so next week we're talking about Da Nang, and then we're going to continue on each city to make sure you guys know everything about each city in depth. All right, we're going to do deep dives and make sure that you guys make the right decision for your life. All right. So if you guys don't know me, my name is KT Kevin. Hello. Welcome to this live, and we are at it, man. We're back at it. I love being live with you guys. So let me know where you guys are, where you're joining me from, where you viewing from. Again, I've lived here in Vietnam 6 years. I help expats all throughout the world move here and relocate to Vietnam with a plan, budget, and make sure you guys are in the right neighborhoods, so that you can succeed here. All right, succeed abroad. All right, so that's my goal. That's the goal of this channel. All right. Obviously, we black owned. All right, so I'm helping people that look like me. All right. If you don't look like me, come on, you're more than welcome. All right. As long as you don't bring no bullshit to my channel and you don't bring any racist stuff, you're good with me. All right. I don't like this whole anti-black sentiment, so it's not good here. Okay. It's not good online. All right. And this whole black sentiment, anti-black, I don't like. All right. And if you don't rock with that, you guys can kick rocks and move on. All right. There's millions of people you can watch. Okay. So let's get into it, man. Welcome. Where are you guys viewing from? Let's get into Hanoi. All right. Let me get my. If you're new to this channel, I tend to show you guys some. I give you a PowerPoint so you guys can follow along with me, and you guys can take notes. All right. So again, last week's live was all about Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, Ho Chi Minh City is the biggest city here in Vietnam. It's the most outgoing city. It's the most open city for us Black folk, and more welcoming. Okay, so Hanoi, on the other hand, is a completely different animal. Okay, Hanoi is the capital, and it is the most conservative area up in the north, and I'm gonna show you maps, so stick with me. All right, up in the north, it's more Chinese mindset. Okay, The South here, where I'm in Ho Chi Minh City, so the South is more westernized, okay, the mindset. Okay, so they're, on paper, they're more open, they're more accepting, and but the North, see, I have a different mindset about the North because in the beginning, when I lived in Hanoi, I lived here 3 years. Okay, again, this is where I met my wife. If I didn't say that before, I met my wife in Hanoi. I actually liked Hanoi a lot. I like it a lot. Okay, but in the beginning, before in 2020, I moved to Hanoi, and I didn't, for the first like year, I didn't really feel comfortable because I didn't understand their mentality of they're more like here in the South, they're more like hello, hello. And then in the North, they're like this. So you can't read these people, And so for me, it was more of I needed to understand the culture. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is that when you get to Hanoi, you may or may not feel this as well, okay? But I've heard this from many people, different races, different expats, not just black, all right? There's not a lot of us, up in Hanoi either, okay? But just to let you know that they're going to be more straight-faced, okay? And so you have to be ready for that, all right? I was not ready for that. Now, 6 years later, I understand why, and it's not what I thought 6 years ago. Okay. So as I go through this, I want you guys to understand that I'm going to break down areas here. Let me go like this. I'm going to break down areas that most expats live. Okay, where we live. First, we're going to talk about the biggest mistakes that expats make, men and women. Tay Ho is the biggest expat district in Hanoi. Ba Dinh is probably the second. That's in the center of the city. So you're literally right in the middle of the city. Okay. Hoan Kiem Lake, that is part of the old quarter. Okay, so that is where most of the tourists go and hang out. Okay, that's called the old quarter. All right, and then Cao Zai is more of a district that is outside. It's probably like 25 minutes away from the old quarter, the center of the city. Okay, and so that's a whole different vibe. All right, we'll get into it. Then you have Long Bien. Long Bien is across the bridge. I'm going to show you guys, so hang with me now. So Long Bien is more of a local area that is probably 30 to 40% of more affordable for us expats. But a lot of expats do live there, but it's far. It's far. You know what I mean? So if you work in Long Bien, cool. If you work there, no doubt, that's great. But most people don't work in Long Bien. Okay, I'm gonna show you. All right. Then we're gonna go into Ha Dong. All right, and then the other outer areas. So Ha Dong is on the opposite side of the city, and Ha Dong is very interesting because this is where most of the Viet Q, the Vietnamese that are born in Vietnam, but then left to go abroad, and then they came back to Vietnam. They typically will go on the newer side of the city of Hanoi, and that is the Ha Dong area, okay, and the outer areas, okay. So Hanoi is split up in two: the old side and the new side, okay. And then we're gonna talk about last the rent reality. What does it cost in Hanoi? All right, just a little nugget. Hanoi is more cost effective than here in Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, so Hanoi is the second most expensive area, well, before Da Nang, but Da Nang was the third. Okay, Da Nang is still not expensive. Okay, Hanoi is the second largest, the second most expensive, and it is, but by far, it is one of the most important big cities in Southeast Asia because it has a lot going on when it comes to NGO or nonprofits and nonprofit organizations and government. Okay, so up in Hanoi, if you're looking for them to do their paperwork correctly and no bullshit, go to Hanoi. Okay, because they're more with the paperwork. They're more like on top of it. Here in Ho Chi Minh, it's wishy-washy. Okay, so let's dive into it. I do see some comments. Let me see what's going on here. I see. Why is my mouse not working? This doesn't make sense. There we go. My boy Andre, boss man, what's up, brother? He says, what up? What's up, brother? Thank you for that, brother. Appreciate it. Andre Bossman, my man, says, I just got my visa approved. Let's go. Ooh, 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 ooh. I can't wait to see you, man. I can't wait to meet you, man. Hit me up, though, okay? Oh, I see a super chat. Brother, thank you, man. Shout out to you, brother. Support Black-owned businesses, man, and Black content creators. I love it, bro. Love it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right. And then I see Madison. Hi, Madison. Hello there. I live in Florida. What made you choose Vietnam initially? Were you traveling back and forth from the U.S. 6 years ago? So that's a good question. No, I was not. I have not been back to the U.S. since I left. I left in 2018. And so first Trump term, okay? I saw the writing on the wall. And he was only a little bit part of it, okay? I was tired, okay? And kind of this whole this anti-Black sentiment, okay? I was kind of tired of it, all right? Just dealing with it. But I have not been back since. So I don't think I will eventually go back ever. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. But yeah, no, I haven't been back yet. But of course, I'll go see family. Thank you, Madison. Appreciate you. Transformative One says, is teaching English there a good option? Yes, absolutely. It's still a good option. You just have to be careful, man. 2026, we're seeing on the ground a ton of just like anti-Western foreigner. They like to screw us around. It's not just Black. It's everybody. Okay. The Vietnamese employer prefers obviously the white man and the white woman first, but they do give us a shot. It's not as crazy as the West. They will give you a shot if you have the degree, they need us. There's not a lot of people here, okay? But it's still a good option, man. Really, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, so sorry. But it's still a good option. You just need to make sure that you need to pick the right job, because what I'm seeing here is that the employers don't give a shit about their employees, Vietnamese or local or foreigner. And so they care about the money. That's it. And so you have to set up yourself to make sure that you're not going to be screwed over by them. And what I mean by that is you have to be legal, have a work permit, and then have your visa set up properly. Okay. Typically here in Vietnam, your visa is going to be tied to your job. That's a bad thing. Okay. I've been like that for 6 years. I literally just got married a month ago and I switched my visa. I'm on a 3-year visa, a marriage visa now. So my wife is my sponsor. And so, but other than that, that's it. They got to figure this out, this whole visa and then tied to your job thing, because the abuse that happens from these employers to us foreigners is astronomical. Stealing our money, cutting our hours, right? Because you need to be able to live here, and so we get paid a lot more, way more than the locals do, but we don't necessarily have the support. Okay, if you're legal, you're able to go to a fight back, right? It's called DOLISA. Okay, DOHLI, or I think it's like DOLIA, DHS or something like that. But that's an abbreviation for like the Department of Labor and something. Okay, but they will have your back as if you're legal and you have a work permit and you have a valid visa, they can't screw you over. Okay, it's very hard for an employer to screw you over. But this is why I say you must be legal, because just for that, because there's so many people who, even when I my last job, people the employer took their money, right? You have to set yourself up the right way. All right, so I know I'm getting on a tangent on that, but I'm here to prepare you guys for the battle here. All right, and my goal is for you not to have a battle, for you to know your rights here and then go forward. All right, so just make sure that, one, you have a bachelor's degree if you're going to teach or work anywhere. Have a bachelor's degree, have your TEFL or TESOL, all right, and make sure that it's legalized. Okay, if you guys need that information, hit me up on the back end, thestoryofkt@gmail, or you can directly Kevin T at thestoryofkt.com. All right, and I'll lace you up, no problem. So let's get into it, man. Thank you for it. I really appreciate that. I hope that helps you guys out a lot. But yeah, that's what I do here. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Andre Bossman says, we are definitely going to link when I touch down. Facts. Love it, man. Appreciate you, my brother. And then Transformative One says, wow, okay, thank you. This is good information. Yes, I got you, man. Just hit me up on the back end. I got you. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. Let's talk about the biggest mistakes men make. All right. Let me get a map out here so I can show you guys. And I see you, AD. I just saw let me get you real quick. AD, what's up, my brother? Good morning, KT. Watch the NBA. My team Spurs lose, but up. Oh, they lost. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Let's go, New York, baby. Let's go, baby. I want Wemby to win, though. I want Wemby to win. Thank you, AD. Appreciate it, man. Good morning. And I'm waiting on you, man. Shoot me over an email. I've been waiting for you all week. Shoot me over an email. All right, let's get into it, man. So the biggest mistakes that most men and women, I'll say expats, make is they go into, so Hanoi, oh yeah, let me get you excuse me, guys. I got all kinds of stuff in my face right now. So let me share my screen and let me show you guys a map of what I'm talking about here. All right, so if most of you guys don't know, let me get this out of the way. Let me get that out of the way and get this out of the way. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I want this one. Oh, yeah, hit the like button, please. And if you guys want, subscribe. It's all good. All right, but just hit that like button. I would appreciate that. So this is Hanoi, okay? If you guys are not familiar with Hanoi, I love Hanoi. I think Hanoi is really, really amazing because the North has 4 seasons, okay? Here you're going to have, it's going to be hot, it's going to be cold, it's going to be dry, or excuse me, during the summer, sometimes it's dry. But again, you have places up here in the North where it's going to be mostly green. And so Hanoi, again, like I said, Hanoi is like split in between 2 parts of the city. You see this? See where my cursor is? See this road right here? That's kind of, well, I'll go right here. That's kind of how the city is split up. And so you see here, this is the old quarter. This side right here, over here is the old city. Over here is Long Bien, right? You see this bridge? That's Long Bien. Here is Ba Dinh, what I was saying. That's the middle of the city. Excuse me. In the middle of the city is like right here. Okay. And so Ha Dong, the new part of the city, is over here. Okay. So it's interesting. I've spent a lot of time in Hanoi. The Tay Ho area, where all of the expats, majority, like 80% of expats in Hanoi live here, around in this lake right here. Ho Tay, but it's called West Lake. Okay, that's the translation. Ho Tay, West Lake. Okay, and so I lived over here when I lived here for 3 years. So this area is pretty cool, man. Like they legit, and I'll talk about it more when I get to Tay Ho, but this area right here is pretty dope, man. You're gonna want to probably live in Tay Ho. It's they've completely renovated the whole area. All right. When I left, they knocked down streets. They dug up streets all around Tay Ho, and they made it new, which was cool. So I'll get into that. But this is Hanoi. Hanoi's cool. Hanoi's cool because it's close to China, okay? And so it has Ha Long Bay here, and I'm just showing you guys the outer areas, right? So you can understand the coolness of it. Then it has Haiphong here, which is the second most expensive area in all of in all of Vietnam. So Ho Chi Minh's number one, Haiphong number two, surprisingly, because it's small, but it's port. It's a port area, and so a lot of expats live over here, a ton. Okay, but this is highly dense population here. Okay, everybody's living on top of each other. All right, so if you're not really like keen on living in a big city, there's Haiphong, there's multiple areas you can live, right? You have areas called Ninh Binh that's in this area, Ninh Binh. If you've ever heard of Ninh Binh, it's in this area here. There's really cool areas up here in Hanoi. Okay, I'll get into it. So let's dive into it. So let me stop sharing here and go back to you guys. All right, I'm back with you. And so most of the mistakes that most expats will make is that they will live in like Tay Ho, which is, like I said, 80% of expats live there. It's popular, but it doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be for you. Like for me, when I lived here in Ho Chi Minh City after I moved to Hanoi. So this is the second time I've lived here in Ho Chi Minh City. I lived here for a year and a half, and then I moved up there for 3 years. When I lived here, I lived in a local area before. I didn't want to live in a local area anymore. So I wanted to live around foreigners, right? Because I missed speaking English like consistently every day. Yes, I taught English, but that's different than actually talking to someone, that is a native English speaker. And so when I moved to Hanoi, I moved to that expat district, basically Tay Ho. And Tay Ho is cool, but it's just it's expats. You know what I mean? You guys they're drinking, partying, working, and you're generally going to either hang out in cliques or you're going to be on your own, hanging out with locals. Okay. The notion that you're going to meet a bunch of locals here in Vietnam is blasphemy, because you're not going to meet locals at all. And that's the beautiful thing about Vietnam, is that it's not beautiful, but if you don't want to talk to locals, you don't have to. If you don't want to befriend locals, you don't have to. Okay. If you don't want to hang out with foreigners, you don't have to. Okay. You can be on your own here and just do your thing. Okay. Now, would I recommend that? No. That's why if you want to speak English on a consistent basis, go live in Tay Ho. All right. Go party in Tay Ho, live there, but don't work in Tay Ho. Okay. Generally, you're not going to work in Tay Ho. All right. So Hoan Kiem Lake is really cool. It's really exciting. The lake area. I'll show you. I'll get there. But Hoan Kiem Lake is amazing because it's in the center of the city, and it's literally the old quarter. So you're going to be around like established districts, and you're going to be around established Vietnamese, the Vietnamese who have money. You're going to be around a lot of tourists, because that's where 100% of the tourists, they all go there. Okay, so it's buzzing. It's really a nice area in Hanoi. Okay, so if I were to ever live in Hanoi again, I probably would live in Hoan Kiem Lake area. Okay, because You have access to your job, which you're probably going to work nearby, and you have access to everything, right? International food, local, really good local food, because Hanoi is known for pho, right? Pho is from Hanoi. Okay. The best pho in all of the world is Hanoi. Okay. Hanoi is known for food. Okay. So the Hoan Kiem Lake area, you have it all right there. You walk outside, boom, it's right there. All right. Hanoi has cheap rent. I'm going to say cheap because, yes, compared to Ho Chi Minh City, it is much more affordable on a per building, per apartment basis than in Ho Chi Minh City. Again, I just said number one, Ho Chi Minh City, most expensive area in Vietnam. Number two, Hai Phong. Number three, Hanoi. Number four, Da Nang. Okay, so I'll say 4 years ago, 4 years ago, number one, Ho Chi Minh City. Number two, Hanoi. Number three, Da Nang. Four was Hai Phong. Hai Phong, since the port has opened up a lot more, it's blown up. Okay, that's where a lot of the money, the GDP comes from. Okay, from that port. Okay, so again, Hanoi is going to be more cost effective. All right. Your area should not only match where you work, where you date, where you go and eat, go to the gym, because again, you want to make sure that, like Tay Ho, it has gyms, but it doesn't, they're far, and it depends on where you live, right? But if you live in the center of the city, obviously everything is there for you. Okay, so match the district to what your lifestyle is. Okay. And then Hanoi does reward expats who choose a routine, not just an image. All right. Hanoi is slow. It's slower. Excuse me. I should say slower than Ho Chi Minh City. Okay. So if you are not into the fast life here in Ho Chi Minh City, go live in Hanoi. However, one thing I have to tell you, the air pollution is trash in Hanoi. Okay. And the reason why is because of the burning season. So you have China, you have China, and all the winds come down, and then you have all the fields up in the north, okay, of Vietnam. They burn and then it comes down. So Hanoi is like a bowl, all right. So when it's all smog and fog, or all the smog just sits above the city, that's a problem. Okay, that's why I only lasted 3 years. I'm glad, because I told my wife, fiance at the time, I said, baby, I'm out of here. This was year 2. I said, I'm out of here next year. I'm not going to renew my contract. So you coming with me, or you going to stay here? And I'm glad she came. All right. So again, choose the district in Hanoi that's going to suit your lifestyle, where you work, where you want to hang out. And then that way you'll be better. Okay. Tay Ho is good for some expats, not all expats. All right. So let's keep it rolling, man. So let's talk about Tay Ho. Tay Ho again is the expat district. Okay. It has the lake lifestyle. It has a ton of cafes. Like Tay Ho is amazing because it's starting to come more bougie. They're starting to be more bougie, which is cool. I like it because it was a little dingy, but I also loved that as well, right? But however, there were no sidewalks. So that's why they dug up everything and then added like wide sidewalks for you. So it's clean. It's clean looking. And then when you get here, it's closer to the airport. Okay. So it only takes you like 25 minutes from the airport, from Hanoi, Noi Bai. I think it's Noi Boi and Noi Bai airport, Hanoi airport. It takes you 25 minutes. And so the difference is 25 minutes from the airport to Tay Ho, that's quick. Whereas if you live in Hoan Kiem Lake in the middle of the city, that's an hour. Okay, because you got to go through all the traffic. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right. If you live near the airport or closer to the airport, Tay Ho is just a straight shot in. Okay. I used to ride motorbike to the airport whenever I traveled. Okay. It's obviously easier to meet foreigners. Okay. Like I said, you're gonna go out, you're gonna see foreigners. That's the cool part, because then you get to form relationships and friends, right? A lot of people, a lot of expats in Hanoi actually live there. Okay, so for example, Da Nang, they're transplants. They're transplants. They come in and out, come in and out. That's the digital. They're trying to make that the digital nomad capital of Vietnam. So Hanoi is more stable. The expat community is more stable. So if you're looking for that kind of that aspect, I would definitely move to either Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi for that aspect. Okay. And obviously, if you don't work here, it's obviously a good base for you remote workers. Okay. If you need that internet, you need the internet, it's perfect there. Okay. Never had an issue ever. Okay. Fast internet. All right. And then it's comfortable over there. Like, I would still live in Hanoi. Me and my wife would still live in Hanoi. That's her hometown. So we would still live there if the smog and fog, the pollution wasn't so bad. I'll be honest. Okay. Um, I'll be honest. Tay Ho is, you got to think twice if you want a local immersion. Okay. I'll be honest. There's a lot of locals, of course, in Tay Ho, but it's the kind of locals that are looking for foreigners, right? Whether you're a foreign man, or looking for, or a foreign woman, Vietnamese are going to be looking for you there. Okay, so just a little nugget. Okay. Tay Ho's it's not as affordable as Hoan Kiem Lake is. Okay. Now you got to understand, where there's a lot of foreigners, they're going to charge you 30% more everywhere on everything, food, drinks. I'm not talking about beer and all that. I'm talking about like tea, juices, nuc soy, that's water, nuc soy. And so everything is going to cost you 30% more. All right. If you're trying to stay on a budget, you can make it happen, but you really need to be mindful if you're going to live in Tay Ho. All right. And then obviously, if you don't want to, if you don't want to live in an expat bubble, don't live here. Okay. Because majority of it is going to be expats. All right. Now there's two sides of Tay Ho. Okay. And I'm going to show you right after I get done with this last one. Okay. One side where I lived is like the downtown of Tay Ho. And so that is basically where you're going to find majority of your expats. Now, on the other side of the lake, that's where you're going to find more locals. Okay. It's going to be a little bit more of a mix, but right in that downtown area of Tay Ho, it's all foreigner. Okay. And then again, your work or your date life is going to be outside. Now, I'll be honest, when I lived there before I was with my lady, way before I was with my lady, I dated in Tay Ho. Don't do that. Okay? Because Tay Ho's small. All right. And so if you find somebody, go have fun. All right. But just be mindful that where you don't want to where you sleep. You know what I'm saying? And so it's so small and everybody knows each other in Tay Ho. Okay. So everybody talk. Everybody. So if you date Susie, then Sally gonna say, hey, Susie knows Sally. Sally's like, hey, that's my man. And remember, gentlemen and women, there are Vietnamese talk. They have an app. Okay, they have apps for men and women, right? Is this my girlfriend? Is this my boyfriend? Are you dating him? Are you dating her? I'm just saying, putting you up on game. Let me show you Tay Ho again, real quick, before we move on. All right, Tay Ho, or the Vietnamese like to say, Ho Tay. Okay. So this is Tay Ho, and this is what I was talking about. This is the downtown area right here. Okay. Where are you at? I'm trying to look for where they have. Yeah. Well, anyways, So this is going to be the downtown area right here. And so this is where a lot of foreigners live. And then the outside, what I was saying is this right here, right back here. Okay. That's going to be more of locals. Okay. And then you'll find a mix of some foreigners, but a lot of the foreigners I noticed that live back here are dating Vietnamese. Okay. They're dating the locals. All right. Obviously you have the intercontinental here, right? And let me give you some, let me just show you some pictures of it so you guys can see. All right, this is Tay Ho. This is the lake. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. Well, this is the hotel, but let me see if I can go like this. No, it doesn't even give me nothing. What? Okay. Let's see if I can find, yeah, this is, let's see if I can find something. So this is like a temple right next to it. So I'm just trying to find the lake for you guys. Let's see if this video has anything. So you can see this is the lake right here. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And you have morning walks, you have gyms, you have everything you want, coffee. It's slow here. Okay, it's very, very slow here. Everyone moves at kind of a snail's pace. I like that. I liked that you could just chill, do your work, come back, and then like just walk around the lake and drink coffee, have a beer, do whatever you want to do. No one bothers you. It's all good, man. People here in Hanoi, pretty cool people, man. Again, you have to get used to the whole straight face. Okay. It took me a minute, but Tay Ho, this is Tay Ho. Okay. This is above. So down here, this is above downtown Hanoi. Okay. Tay Ho. All right. And it didn't say anything. I didn't put anything about Chuk Bak, but I just have to kind of tell you a little bit about it. So Tay Ho is bordered by a really cool small little district called Chuk Bak. All right. And Chuk Bak is down here. It's down here. It's right here. Just this little area right here. And what I would have done if I had hung out in Chuk Bak more is I would have actually moved here first because it was the proximity to, it's literally bordering downtown. Okay, so you can easily get to work. You could get to wherever you need to get to fast, get down to the center of the city fast. But living up here, you got to go through all this, and that's a lot. Okay, so Chuk Bak is like, see Chuk, this right here, Chuk Bak. Okay, and this is like, if any of you guys know, I know San Diego. So if any of you guys know North Park, San Diego, it reminds me of that, but with a lake. Okay, amazing, small neighborhood. Everybody knows each other. Neighborhood bars, neighborhood cafes, neighborhood everything. Everyone is connected here in Chuk Bak. Obviously, it's small, right? So. Yeah, don't count this area out. Okay, if you don't want to live in a expat bubble, come and live here. There's a mix between expats and locals here, but this I would recommend living in Chuk Bak. Okay, find a good apartment, a good place, a good landlord, and come here. Okay, just because of the proximity between the downtown this is the old quarter, right? This is Ba Dinh, and then old quarter over here. Okay, let's keep it moving. I see comments, and I'm going to get to you guys right now while I have some time. Let's see. AD says, okay, bro, figured you are a Knicks man. Great game, though. Yeah, I'm not necessarily a Knicks man, but I'm a Bulls fan. So I'm an old Bulls fan, Jordan and stuff. Not a modern Bulls fan, but yeah, I just loved the rivalry. So yeah, I love it, man. Thanks, AD. And hit me up, AD. All right. Yahweh says the North feels classy. The North feels classy, cultural, academic, almost European. Correct. The South is business, hustle, action, American feel. My take only. You are correct. You're absolutely correct. Again, and I'm glad you put that. You said the culture because I completely missed that. Hanoi is all culture. Okay. If you really want to immerse yourself in the Vietnamese culture, this is where you need to start. Okay. Start in Hanoi, go to Hue. Okay. The South down here feels a little bit more westernized. Okay. It's more hustle, just like Yahweh says. But the North is all cultural. Okay. Slower pace of life. Very classy for sure. Thanks, Yahweh. Appreciate that. Madison says, is there an area in Hanoi where the air is cleaner? Nope. Short answer, no. Okay. This is why we wear masks in Hanoi, particular. Okay, in particular because of just the pollution. It's just trash. Okay. If you want to get away from the pollution, head toward the beaches. There, you're not gonna escape it. You're not gonna escape the pollution. So don't let that don't let that scare you away from Hanoi. Hanoi is an amazing city. Trust me. Okay. I always say, to me, people up there, they're more straight with you because if they like you and they mess with you, then they're all the way in. If they're not, then they're all the way out. Okay. Here, you just don't know. You don't know, and I would rather know than not know. Okay. So pollution, yeah, the air is going to be an issue in Hanoi. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. Okay. Thanks, Madison. Appreciate you. Yahweh says closer to open water means more wind and more clean air. Yep. So yeah, if you want cleaner air, go toward the coast. I'll be honest, Ho Chi Minh City is pretty good. Okay, you have your days, but for the most part, I've been here 2 years already. Me and my wife and I have been here 2 years, and it's night and day. Okay, my wife grew up in that environment in Hanoi, so I spent 3 years there. Coming down here, much cleaner. Okay, just FYI. All right. And yes, the most cleanest air in Vietnam is on the coast. All right, Yahweh. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Salute to you. AD says, is it a good probability Vietnam will get a retirement visa? I wish they do. Will be beneficial for them if they want us. Yeah, I mean, I they've been talking about it, man. They've literally been talking about it for years. Okay, and I reported on it last year, and there's been no movement since. And I just don't know. I don't think they're going to do it anytime soon. And the reason why is because they're watching their neighbors pull back all of their visas, right? And the rise of bad behavior that's going on with foreigners here in Vietnam, bad behavior by foreigners, it's going to ruin it for everybody else. Okay, so I don't think that that's going to happen this year, maybe next year, but I don't know, man. There things are changing every month, so you just gotta keep your eye out. And right now, it doesn't look like they want it. So I have no idea. But make sure you guys go follow Evan A for that. I don't really cover a bunch of retirement stuff here anymore. So I'm not in retirement age yet. So I'm gonna leave that to Evan A. Okay. All right, let's get into the next one. We're gonna talk about Ba Dinh. So again, like I said, Ba Dinh. Let me just show you the map first, so that you guys can understand what I'm talking about. So bear with me here. All right, let me see if you're here. Yes. Okay, so Ba Dinh. All right, like I said, here's Chuc Ba. Ba Dinh is right here, and it's the center of the city. Okay, it's huge. It's massive. Okay, Ba Dinh is where your majority of where you're going to do, where your routine is going to be in the middle of the city. Ba Dinh. Okay, Ba Dinh is all about business. This is where you're going to have most of your government buildings, a lot of NGO buildings, academic buildings, cultural buildings, museums. All right, any of the like touristy area, because like in Tay Ho, there's no touristy areas. Okay, there's like a couple, but not really for you guys. For locals, yes, not for you guys. Everything that you want to do is going to be right here. So the mausoleum, let me click on it. That's the President's Palace, the mausoleum. So this is where Ho Chi Minh City, Ho Chi Minh is buried. He's not buried. His body, you can see his body. Okay, and so you can see him. He's here. He's right here. And so I never did. My wife did. I never did. But this area is pretty cool. All right, him. Okay, and so his body's in a casing. Okay, I think they preserved his body, which is really cool. I wish I would have seen it. But this is a nice his little complex where he lived and where some of his cars, and it's pretty cool. You know, it's pretty cool. But this is a major touristy area. Okay, Ba Ding, this is where you guys are going to be. You're going to be hanging out here. When you see all of the pictures, you see all these pictures. It's typically from Hanoi. It's typically from here. Okay, Ba Ding. If you want to live here, it's pretty affordable. I'm not gonna lie. All right, but again, it's in the center of the city. So Ba Ding is a good fit because it's central. It's mature. The district is mature, and it's right next door to the old quarter. Right? You're away from all the craziness. Okay. Yes, there's a ton of traffic. Yes, there's a ton of tourists. However, it's much more quiet after 5 p.m. Okay. Again, there's more of a steady rhythm of the city. You're going to get a good city life feel here in Ba Ding. Okay. It's good for your long-term routine, and obviously everything is there for practical living. All right. You have everything in Ba Ding. Okay. And again, it's a good fit for people who want a strong option to be able to be everywhere. Okay. If depending on where you live in Ba Ding, you can walk to the old quarter. Okay. Which is really a plus. The opera house is here. A lot of places are here in Ba Ding. Okay. Now I would think twice living in Ba Ding if you want a consistent nightlife. There's none. Okay. Let me give you guys a little bit of a nugget. Hanoi doesn't have a lot of nightlife. Okay. It's after 9 o'clock, pretty much quiet. Okay. Except for the old quarter. The old quarter has Beer Street, and that's it. And it's just the old quarter is massive, but it's quiet. All right. Except for the Beer Street, the drinking and the bars and stuff. But other than that, Ba Ding, it's going to be real whistle quiet. So if you're at night, so there's not many like nightlife, okay, in Ba Ding. Okay, and I'll be honest, Hanoi is not Saigon. Saigon is the party city. Okay, this is where you come to do what you need to do. Okay, but Hanoi is designed to be quiet, to be respectful, to and like Yahweh said, classy. Okay, excuse me. I would think twice about Ba Ding if you want that easy access to expat life. All right, the expats are spread out in Ba Ding, so be careful. Like I said, if you're going to live in Tay Ho, no problems with expats, but you're going to be a little bit more isolated down in Ba Ding. Okay, and you're going to have to travel. So most of the people that I knew that lived in the city in Ba Ding, they would generally come up to either Chuk Bat or they would go up to Hote, Tay Ho, okay, to party. And just understand that if you're drinking, there's Grab, but if you're drinking, the cops up there, although they don't really bother you, they will be on that ass if you're drinking and driving up there. Okay, there's a lot of drinking and driving going on up there just because there's not a lot going on. Now the nightlife in Ba Ding is like they call it Bia Hoi. Bia, Biahoi, Hoi. Bia Hoi. That translates to fresh beer. Okay, and so What that means is that they just they brew the beer, they cap it in a keg, and then they just bring it instead of the process is less, I should say. So it's good, it's cheap, but you got to drink it. All right, it's not like the bottled beer and all that stuff. Okay, so you're gonna hang out at Bia Hoy's in Hanoi. Okay, Hanoi is known for the Bia Hoy scene, and I did a video. I did a video, and I'll show you before, but it was at a Bia Hoy, and it's just kind of sitting down, drinking beer, and talking to people and eating. That's it. Okay. Not really dancing and all that stuff. All right. So I would think twice moving to Bading if you are really chasing cheap rent. Okay. It's more affordable than Tay Ho, but it is in the middle of everything. So you're going to pay a premium. All right. Not every building in Vietnam can allow foreigners. They have to have special permits. All right. So that's if you've ever been looking for a place and you see the same apartments, same buildings. It's because there's a certain amount of buildings that foreigners are allowed to go and live in. Okay. So just be mindful of that not every apartment can allow foreigners. All right. And I have been hearing that they'll take your deposits, and they'll take your first month's rent, and then you have issues with the police because then they'll come and check your place because they're doing that now. They'll come check your residence to make sure that you have the temporary registration, and that's for everyone. Locals and foreigners have to get registered because they want to track where you're at in case of an emergency and for other shit too. You know what I mean? But that's what they tell us. Okay. Okay. And so if you're looking at Bading for cheaper rent than like Tay Ho, good luck. Okay. You can find, but again, specific buildings only allow foreigners. So ask your real estate agent that. Do they allow foreigners? Never assume anything in Vietnam. Don't assume it. Even if it's a stupid question and you think it's a dumb question, it's not a dumb question here. Okay. I don't care if it's like, hey, is the water pressure cool? Ask it. Okay. Because you want to have as much information as possible. And then when you get here, and you're actually preferably, hopefully you're testing it out while you're here, but when you get here, make sure that you actually test the water, test those things, look for things around the apartment. Don't just say, oh, I got an apartment, it's cheap, all right, or it's affordable, great, here's my money. Don't do that. Please, whatever you do, don't do that. Do your due diligence, please. All right. And then in Bading, if you need a modern tower everywhere, no. Okay, Bading doesn't have a lot of Hanoi in general doesn't have a lot of high rises. Okay, that's gonna be more for the newer part of the area. Okay, and that's Hadong. That's where you're gonna find majority of the high rises. Again, Bading is in the old part of the city, so there's no room to spread your wings. All right, and they have a cap on. There's regulation where you can go high. Okay, in here in Bading, you can't go high. There's only a certain amount of floors you can go in the center of Hanoi. Okay, and that's by design. All right, so if you want those modern towers, amenities, and all that stuff, you're gonna go on the other side of the city, the new part of the city. All right, I do see some comments. Let's get to it real quick. Let's see. Conscious Living says, I made alive. I haven't had a Friday off in a while. Let's go. Laugh out loud. Been watching the replays. I love it. Love it. Well, we live, baby. Welcome. I love it, man. It's good to have you finally. All right, let's go. Yahweh says, Chukbaka or Hanso Solo. Bad joke. Sorry, got to go. Okay. All right, bro. Shout out. Madison says, are you scared to see his body? I don't know what that means, but Thank you, Madison. All right, Andre. My man Andre says fire. Renex, what's up, man? Love it. You are an inspiration, KT. You give a path. I'm trying, man. This is. I've been doing this for 2 years. Okay, most of you guys are just finding me out, but I've been doing this for 2 years on YouTube, and so I've been spitting this game for 2 years, and I'm really happy you guys are here now. So don't go nowhere. All right. I'm really happy you guys are here. So, I'm trying, man. I'm really trying to give you guys all the game, all the game. Okay. Really. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Army guy, what's up, brother? What's up? What's up, man? Army guy says, what's up, man? How are you doing today? I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. Just got a lot going on, brother. A lot behind the scenes. So, yeah. How you doing, bro? Welcome back. AD says, I'm looking for peace and, tranquility, tranquil areas. All right. Yeah, I feel you. And if you're looking for that, then I would absolutely say Hanoi would be a good option for you. Now, again, guys, you can find tranquil in all cities in Vietnam. Okay. I'm going to be honest. Even down here, where I'm at right now, District 3 in Ho Chi Minh City is quiet. All right. So you can find it. You just need to know where to look, and you need to know what you're doing. All right. That's why I come to you guys live every week. That's why I drop videos. That's why Army Guy drops videos, right? Because we actually doing this. We're here. You know what I mean? And we see it. We see the areas that are good for you guys. I mean, Vietnam is blowing up, guys. It's blowing up. So don't think just because it's blowing up that you can't come here and find affordable, find a quiet area, find less pollution. You can do that. But the pollution thing is kind of but it's getting better. Okay. Take it from me. I've been here 6 years. There's people who've been here a lot longer, but I've been here and it's getting better. Trust and believe it's getting better. Thanks, AD. Conscious Living says, KT, I had to change the channel name. This is AVL. Oh, okay. What's up, AVL? All right. Okay, but I'm gonna say Conscious Living though. You know what I mean? No, it's okay. What's up, AVL? Well, finally, man. It's good to see you back. I missed you, bro. Thank you, man. Come back. Keep coming. All right. I love it. I love it. Yeah, and if you guys follow Army Guy Travels, man, he's on a mission, man. This guy is all over the world. So I love it. Truly an inspiration, man, of your travels, brother. So, but you've been here like a year, right? So he knows a little bit, a little bit, But yeah, he knows what he's doing. I'm just joking with you. All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate you being here. All right. So long story short, Ba Dinh is a good area for you guys if you want everything around you and you don't want to have to go anywhere. You don't want to have to motorbike anywhere. You could take a Grab. Everything is right there. Everything is right there. All right. Oh, I see someone else real quick. Philly Dom. What's up, Philly? Salute to you, my brother. Hey, go subscribe to his channel too. All right. He's in Singapore right now. All right. You guys know who Philly Dom is. If you don't, go check him out. Subscribe, my brother. All right. Thank you for stopping by, brother. Appreciate you. See, I like when content creators come and support each other, man. That's what this is all about. All right. Shout out to you two, both of you. You guys are great. All right. So let's talk about Hoan Kiem Lake, man. Again, Hoan Kiem. All right. Say it with me. Hoan Kiem. Okay. That's the English version. Hoan Kiem. All right. Is a good fit for people who want that classic feel. Again, let me show you where we're at, man. Let me show you where this is at. All right, so we're gonna get away from this and let's go like this. Let's go like this. All right, so this is the old quarter. Yeah, this is where you guys are going to be staying. Okay. 95% of all tourists stay here, okay, in this area, the old quarter, Okay, let me show you a little bit of what it looked like. You've seen the pictures. Okay, you know what the old quarter looks like. This is old Hanoi. This is Hanoi. Okay, this is this is Beer Street actually right here. This is Beer Street. This area is popping. Okay, this is where you're going. This is the only area that's popping in Hanoi. I'm gonna be real with you. Okay, they're trying to make Tay Ho popping, but it's more bougie popping. Okay, it's gonna be like that. So if you're into that bouginess, go on up to Tay Ho. But if you want the real deal, raw, no holds barred, sitting on little chairs, drinking some 50-cent beer, this is where you're gonna be right here. Okay. And then the cool thing about it is you have the old quarter, obviously it's established. So it has international, huge international scene, a huge, obviously, internet local scene, and where it has food, as far as food, drinks, vibe, culture, same with international, okay? All of that, okay? You can have super expensive or you can have really, really affordable. Okay, all here. Okay, the old quarter is the business. This is where you're going to be hanging out. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, and it's busy. It's super busy. So you guys have seen the traffic in Ho Chi Minh City. It's the same in the old quarter. Okay, again, this is Hoan Kiem Lake. Okay, I'll show you some more. But here is where you guys can just get lost. Just get lost in the old quarter. All right. That's one of the cool aspects about living in Hanoi is that from Tay Ho, it's only like 10 minutes. Just go down south, drive down south, boom, you're 10 minutes, you're there. You live in Chuk Bak, it's 5 minutes. Literally, a couple minutes and you're there. All right. Just get lost here. This is old. No, that's not. There it is. But no, that's not it. This is Hoan Kiem Lake right here. Right here. And there's the church, of course. I'm just showing you guys. This is not Hanoi. That is the old cathedral. Okay. This is like literally in the heart of the city right here. Okay. Everyone hangs out. Yeah, this is Hoan Kiem Lake right here. See how massive it is? See all these buildings right here? See how it's not super tall? You don't have super high rises? That's by design. Okay. Hoan Kiem Lake is where they have festivals, where they have, I mean, it's the vibe of the city. So if you live here, you're going to be hanging down here probably majority of the time. Okay. This is where they do fireworks. This is where they do everything. Okay. I don't know why. Oh yeah, and then you have the Opera House. This is the Opera House right here. Okay, this is not it. I don't know why they're showing Ha Long Bay. Okay, anyways, so the old quarter is not. It's not terribly big. It's only like I don't know, maybe like 20 to 30 streets. Really, maybe like let's say 50 streets. Small, zigzag streets. This is where Train Street is at as well. Okay. Now down here is like your French Quarter. Okay. So this is kind of part of the old quarter, but it's a little bit off. This is where you're going to have a lot of the. Let me see if I can find some pictures. These are where the embassies are. Okay. In the French Quarter. But it's still part of the old quarter. It's going to be where all the French architecture, you'll see most of it. Okay. This is kind of like a good, let me see what this is. Yeah. So this really is Hanoi. Okay. Let's go like this. Let me stop sharing with you. And let me bring you back. All right. So again, Hoan Kiem Lake is more the area that I'll say Hoan Kiem area is like you can walk everywhere. Seriously, you can. This is one of the areas where you can just walk out of your apartment building and then walk all the way around the lake, around Old Quarter. This is where if you don't want to drive, I would stay here. All right, because this is where you're going to date. You're going to go and date here physically. You're going to go to places here. You're going to meet women here or men. You're going to eat here majority of the time. You're going to work here majority of the time in the area. Okay, so I would go here. Okay, if you want to live here. All right, you can walk everywhere here. If you don't ride a motorbike, you can definitely live here. Okay. It definitely has the energy of the city, like I said, and it is best when you want to feel Hanoi. Immediately walk down the stairs, boom, you're right there. Okay. Now, I would think twice about living in this area if you want quiet or you want a calm routine. I'm gonna be honest with you. Forget about being calm in this area. Okay. Now, I told you everywhere else around Hanoi is calm except for this area. Okay. So just be aware of that. Okay. All right. And if you work from home and you need focus, I wouldn't make this area my HQ. Okay. Because of the noise and it's just too busy. It's too busy here. Okay. And then we all know if you're an expat, right? Because again, we're talking about expats. We're not talking about tourists. Okay. Two different segments. All right. But tourists are everywhere in this area. They're always going to be here 24/7. Okay. Hoan Kiem area is 24/7 area. Okay. Just because it's nestled within the old quarter. Okay. So the old quarter is 24/7. There's no getting around that, right? Obviously, after like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., it's going to be pretty quiet, but the city is 24 hours, okay? Ho Chi Minh City is more 24 hours than any city around, okay? But Hanoi in this area, Hoan Kiem, it's 24 hours. So be aware that there's going to be tourists 24 hours a day walking by your place, depending on where you live, right? And remember, the apartments are lower, so you're going to be closer to the ground. Okay, so you will hear it. That energy will drain you. It will. Okay, that's why I lived in Tay Ho. Okay, I'll be honest. And then if you want a long-term peace, more than action. All right. So again, it kind of goes hand in hand with the tourist energy of draining you. If you want peace, don't live here. Seriously. All right. Let's get into a comment real quick. AD says, I will send you my email and mobile no later, brother. Great information. Say hi to the family. Salute to you, AD. I'll be looking out, my brother. Love, man. Thanks for showing up, brother. Appreciate it. Hit that like button, everybody. Let's go. All right. Madison says, were you scared to view the body of Vietnam's former president in the mausoleum? I did not see. My wife did. I did not see, though. So they don't let you take pictures from what she told me. I just never really, it's just not my thing. You know, I'm not trying to look at a dead body, to be honest. It's just not my thing, to be honest. She was kind of a little like, but Vietnamese people look at it as that's their hero. Like he literally is their hero. So he's Uncle Ho. Like everyone loves Uncle Ho, right? Uncle Ho was for black people. Like seriously. So you really must respect him. Obviously, I live in Ho Chi Minh City, right? So they love him. Like it's more than love. He's a brother, he's an uncle, he's a father to them, right? And so they salute, they respect him, right? And so when they want to go see his body, they're crying, they're in admiration because they're making more money than they ever made in their life. They have a better life because of him. So for me, I just haven't seen it. I don't think I want to see it, to be honest. I would love to go, but I don't get off on seeing dead bodies, to be honest. It's just not my thing. Yeah, you can go see it though. And you can't take pictures. Be respectful. They will get at you. Okay? They don't play when it comes to him. They don't play. All right? Just keep that in mind. Be respectful. Let's talk about Kaozai, as we'll say. They say it differently. Everybody says things differently, but Kaozai is going to be more of your local area. Okay? Let me show you where Kaozai is. Give me a minute. Let's go like this. Let me make sure you guys are watching. There we go. All right. Let me type in Kaozai just because it's just a small district. Okay. So, all right. So Kaozai, let me show you a picture. Let me show you a picture first. And it's on the new part of the city. Okay. So now you're starting to see high rises, right? This is where you're going to want to, if you want to live in a high rise, look at Hanoi. Look at Kaozai and look at there's the lack of high rises. Yeah, that's by design. Okay. This is the first area that we've seen high rises, right? So this area is cool because majority of your work as a teacher, public school, majority of the public schools are going to be in this area. Okay, Kaozai is massive. So let me show you on the map here where Kaozai is. And boom, boom, boom. Okay, so it's this little, if you can see the little dotted area right here. This place is massive. I mean, on the ground, it's massive. All right. So this is going to be more of your local area. It's super affordable here. If you have, let me stop sharing and come back to you guys. Okay. This, if you're going to work in Hanoi, this is probably where you're going to work. Okay. Kaozai, or on this side of the newer side, because majority of it is that's where all the public schools are. Majority. Okay. And so it's practical. Okay. It's away from the noise. It's away from all the craziness of the old quarter, the expats. You're not even anywhere near them. You're probably like 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes on the other side. But you're not going to really see a bunch of foreigners here unless they're just driving through Kaozai. And then on top of that, you're going to barely see foreigners on your daily basis. All right. So if you want to live here, right, it's practical. It's affordable. Okay. You have apartments here, and these are where the apartments are going to give you services. Okay. You're going to have your amenities here. Because again, they've tore down areas in the homes and districts in this area and built it back up. All right. So it's more brand new, newer than the old quarter side. Okay. So again, it's good for teachers, good for workers, and if you have a routine. A lot of expats live here because it's so close to where they're working. I'll be honest. I did it kind of weird. Because I lived in Tay Ho, and then I worked like 30 minutes outside of Tay Ho in either direction. So it kind of, at the time, I'm very used to driving, and at the time it didn't bother me. Okay, because my wife, she lived 30 minutes south of me as well, so I was used to driving. But my schools were in Kaozai. And so they were like 30, 35 minutes away from Tay Ho. Don't do that. Okay. Follow suit here in Vietnam. If you're going to get a job, this is just for the job people. If you're going to get a job, live where you work, around where you work, because trust me, the commute is going to wear you down by the end of your contract. Okay. First month, you're going to be like, I shouldn't have done this. Trust me, I've done it. Okay. And if you're going to work remote and you need peace, this is where I would go. Okay. Go to Kauzai, amongst other areas, but find a good area, find a good building that has a couple of good buildings, and pick one. Okay. Again, this Kauzai place is more functional than romantic in many of these pockets. This You're not gonna have it. This area, Kauzai, is like real deal Vietnamese. Okay, so it's local area. If you get good here, you can get good anywhere. All right. So that's not to say that they don't speak English, because they do a little bit, but here it's going to be a lot less. Okay. You're going to find more English over in the older side than over here. However, this side is where the Viet Qs are moving. Okay. And once we get a little bit over into Ha Dong area a little bit later, this this is where they're forming their coalition over on that side, the new side. Okay. This is where the new money is. Okay. So you'll find it. You'll find it. But Kaozai, still predominantly local. All right. It's functional. It's not, it's not beautiful. Okay. It's functional. All right. And I don't even know how to even describe that to you, because it's just a real area that has everything local that you could ever want. Okay. Everything. International places, not so much in this area. Okay. Now they're spotty. Okay. Because again, Vietnamese are their middle class is coming up so fast that this is probably where a lot of the lower to upper middle, or excuse me, the lower to middle live. Okay. So it's good for them. It's really good for them. All right. And then you can offer a better, so Kaozai offers a better value than the old part of the city, for sure. Okay. You're going to probably spend about 20% less living over here than living over in the old quarter. Okay. The old side. Tay Ho, the old quarter, Ba Dinh, Chuk Bak. Okay, it's probably going to be living over in Kaozai is going to be about 20 to 30% less. Okay, than living over there, and you'll have a better apartment. Okay, if you find a good one. Now, I would think twice if I want to move to Kaozai, is that if you want that classic Hanoi charm. Okay, the Hanoi charm is the old quarter. Okay. It's the old side. The new side, the newer side, is just that. It's newer, right? If you guys don't know, Vietnam is transforming. Okay, so even in here, Ho Chi Minh City, we have the old side. I mean, I live on the old side, and then the new side is it just slipped my mind because I'm just focused on Hanoi. It'll come back to me. I literally just had it on the tip of my tongue. But the new side here was going to be like D7, District 7, District 2. But even though like the Tuduk area, the suburbs, that's brand spanking new. Okay, here. All right. If you want to know a little bit more about that, go check out last week's live. Okay. So I would think twice again if you want an expat social life. Kaozai, it's not going to happen. Just not going to happen. Okay. So it's all local. So if you speak Vietnamese, you'll be fine. But if you want to date, good luck. If you want a social life, good luck. People who live in Kaozai, expats, they work. That's it. Work, go home. Work, go home. Work, go home. Work, go home. Same. Okay, every day. Okay, and then they save money. Okay, living here. That's what Kaozai is for. Save money. Okay, and it's a good value for your buck. To be honest. All right, I would think twice if you need nightlife, or you have that tourist energy. You need that, right? You want that. It's not happening here. Okay, and then traffic and road flows it's congested as hell over here as well. Okay. In Hanoi, there's about 10 million people in Hanoi. A little bit, maybe a little bit under. No, yeah, a little bit, just a little bit under 10 million people. Okay. And so Kaozai, like when I had to go to work, for example, I worked 15 minutes away from my job, but I had to go through Kaozai, this area. And this area I showed you on the map, it's big. It looks small, but it's massive. Okay. And so there's so much traffic like this. Everyone's on top of each other in this district. Okay. So there are districts where it's straight, it just flow. But this one, everybody's on top of each other here. So again, traffic is a thing in Vietnam, but specifically in areas, Cao Dai is very, very, you got to leave 20, 30 minutes before. Okay. It's like that for real. Especially depends on where you work though. If you work in Ha Dong and you live here, it's maybe 25 minutes. Okay. But just be aware that Hanoi traffic is way different than Ho Chi Minh traffic. And like, for example, I've only gotten into accidents up there. In here, in the South, never. Okay. I mean, I broke my hand, broke my foot. I broke up there in Hanoi. Okay. Be careful. All right. So Khao Dai, very affordable, very this is where you're going to start to see high rises. Okay. So majority of the time, I wouldn't live here. For me personally, I wouldn't live here because it's, well, maybe now because I'm married now I would, but as a single person, I wouldn't live here. Okay. I'd stick on if I'm a single person, I would stick on the other side. Okay. Definitely stick on the other side, on the old side. All right. Let's see. I have some comments here. Let me get to them real quick. My man Philly Dom says great information. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. You the man. Army, he's talking Army. All right. ABL says, have you come across any groups that practice Buddhism? I'm Buddhist. Expats or locals in these areas. So yeah. I mean, it's a Buddhist country. So yeah, there's a lot, man. To be honest, Christianity is growing huge here. I'm like, why? But their Christianity is Catholicism. Okay, it's not like Baptist and Lutheran and all that stuff. That doesn't exist here. Okay, Christianity, if they're gonna talk about Christianity, it's gonna be Catholicism. Okay, so or Buddhism. It's one or the other. So yeah, there's temples everywhere, brother. You'll be able to. I mean, if you get into that community, they're gonna love you, man. So yeah, man. All good. AD says, I would consider myself an introvert and stoic man. Kaozai sounds interesting. Nice one. I love sightseeing and people. Easy for me as I am single. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it just depends on what your lifestyle is. You know what I mean? Like for me, back then I was dating. I was looking for dates. I was out. You know what I mean? So I know Kaozai is not that. You know what I mean? I needed some action, boss. So I didn't want to go to Kaozai. All right. So, but for you, yeah, if you're an introvert, I would definitely look for Kaozai, and you'll save money. Really, you'll save money. And again, if you're not working, it's okay, man. For sure. And I'm not gonna lie, the air pollution up here, just based on memory, it's not as bad over here in Kaozai because it's a little bit on the other side of the city. So it's not as bad over here on that side than it is in the old quarter. So yeah, now that I remember that. Okay. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, AD. I mean, honestly, for anyone that's watching this right now or on the playback, every area it can be a foreign area, but every area is a local area. There are more specific areas that they planned for expats, like a Tay Ho, like a here Tao Dien, like a District 1, like a Old Quarter in Hanoi, right? Like Da Nang Ang Tuong, right? An Tuong. And so, yes, those are planned expat communities, okay? But we live everywhere around the city, okay? And the majority of, if you see a foreigner, they're married to if you, in this area, they're probably married or dating a Vietnamese, straight up. We just don't. All right, appreciate you, AD. My man Ramel, what's up, bro? What's up, brother? I'm good, man. Yeah, good. Free agent now, brother. So just waiting on you, bro. Just waiting on you. All right, how you doing, bro? You good? Shout out to you, my brother. I would say go and check out his channel, but he don't even post no more. Love you, dog. Love you, bro. All right, let's get into it, man. So we're going to Long Bien. Let me show you where Long Bien is at. Let me change this real quick. All right, let me change this real quick to Long Bien, and let's go to the map. Let me show you where Long Bien is all about. All right, Long Bien is a very interesting area. Okay, so we've covered so far in this live, we've covered the Tay Ho area. Okay, I lived in Tay Ho around this area. We covered already the Kaohsiung area. This is the local area. Again, this is the new side of Hanoi. If you can see my cursor, this is the new side of Hanoi. This is the old side of Hanoi. Okay, and what I mean by that, it's all established areas. Okay, however, here in this area, they have busted down and broken down and built back up, and so that's what I mean by new side of Hanoi. Okay, Hanoi's has hundreds of years, okay, of establishment, if not thousand. Okay, but they've literally redone this whole area. It's pretty brand new. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. All right, and so see this bridge? It says ga. Say it with me, ga Long Bien. One more time, ga Long Bien. Okay, ga Long Bien. That is the bridge. Okay, ku means bridge. Okay, ku Long Bien. Okay, I don't even know if I'm even pronouncing that right, but I think I am though. So this is Long Bien Bridge. Right? Let me see if I can pull up let me see. Let me see if I can pull up yeah, there we go. All right, you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen the bridge, right? You've seen pictures of this bridge. This is world famous Long Bien Bridge. All right. Long Bien is like a suburb, a burb of Hanoi. Okay. Give me a minute. It's more new, and this is where the money is at. Pardon me. This is where the money lives. Okay. Gated communities. I'm gonna show you. Okay. I'm gonna show you. All right. I've done this so many times. Okay. This is the bridge going into Long Bien. Okay. So Long Bien is more of a planned community. So obviously you see Vin Homes, yeah? This is where the money's at. Okay. On this little island, Long Bien. Okay. This used to be, as you can see, this is where the money be. The money, see? This is the money. This is where money's at. Okay. These are where private communities live. Boom. all throughout here. This place is awesome if you want to save money. It's awesome if you need quiet. It's terrible if you work in the city. Okay, but you have this. It's brand new. This area is brand new. Wide streets. It's affordable. It's probably going to be about, not in this area in particular, because Long Bien's massive, right? So the new area is like the money is just in this area. Okay, but around Long Bien goes like, Long Bien's like way down here. Okay, well, not over here. Like, let's just say Long Bien stops right here, right here. Okay, and so it's like it's an island. It's kind of like an island, and it literally goes in a circle. So the streets are very small, okay, going around Long Bien, but inside Long Bien, the streets are super wide. So it's weird, okay? And what I mean by that is around here, these streets, right? These streets, this street, very, very small, very small. So it takes you longer to get out and in Long Bien because of the smaller streets, but the city of Long Bien inside, you have no problem. They're wide, super wide streets. Okay, so just so you know, this is Long Bien. Okay, this is Long Bien, and I'll tell you, you can save a lot of money, but there's not going to be a lot of action there. This place is actually for families, local families, and expats who actually work in Long Bien. That's it. Okay, that's it. If you're married to a Hanoian, or you're dating a Hanoian, or you're with a Long Bien, a person who's from Long Bien, then you're going to live there, and you have a lot more space. Okay, it's very slow here, very, 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 very slow. You won't even realize you're in Hanoi anymore going over here. Okay, so you have more breathing room, okay, than the inner city. It's like I said, it's good for families, it's good for couples, all right, and it's peace. Seriously, peace. This is what Long Bien. This is why people move here, is because the city is too much for them. All right, they don't want to deal with the traffic. They don't want to deal with the pollution, the air pollution, the trash. Right? Long Bien is somewhat clean. Okay. All right, and then again, it's strong if you want structure and you want less chaos. Again, people who live in Long Bien, who go to Long Bien, they're specifically going there for a reason. Okay, tourists don't come here. Tourists don't know, they don't know nothing about Long Bien. There's nothing for tourists here. Okay, really. And so if this is all expats and it's all locals, that's it. Okay. Long Bien can work if you do not need to go into the city. That's only how it's going to work for you. Okay. You do have everything you need in Long Bien City. You don't have to go to Hanoi. Okay. Now, Long Bien is Hanoi, but it's just on the other side of the bridge. It's still Hanoi, but it's Long Bien Hanoi. That's it. Okay. It's a district of Hanoi. All right. So I would think twice if moving to Long Bien, if you are new to Vietnam, you're new to Hanoi, okay, and you want to have a social life, forget about it. Okay. It's the worst move. If you've never been to Vietnam and you move to Long Bien, that's the worst move you could ever do. Straight up. I'm just saying. All right. There's no nightlife. Think twice. No nightlife, and the dating. I'm not going to say the dating aspect is difficult or it's impossible, but it's severely difficult. All right. Here, A lot of people, if you live inside Long Bien City, you might have a better opportunity to meet women or men. But if so, the city is like this, right? You saw it, it's just like this. And then the outside area is massive. So most people live in the outside area, believe it or not. So, yeah. A lot of people just come into the Long Bien City and then they just pick up what they need and then they bounce, okay, back to their house. A lot of people here just mind their business, to be honest. Okay. And then you're going to get a lot of people who are retired, retired government, right? So like police, like retirement, all those high officials, they live over here. Viet Q who have bread, real bread, not like new money, but like wealth, old money, they live here. Okay, and these they live in the gated communities. Now, I'll be honest, over here is cool because there's another part which I'm not going to even talk about, but I have to tell you about it. All right, because this is where the Africans live. Okay, majority of the Africans, yeah, people from Africa, they will work over here in Long Bien, and they'll live. Let me go. They'll live over here in Ocean Park. Okay, so beyond Long Bien, there's a place called Ocean Park. All right, and this is literally like it's like D9, District 9 here, where a lot of the expats now are starting to move over to District 9 because they're tired of the city, Ho Chi Minh. They're tired of the city and they want more space and they want more quiet. And before my boy Ramel, who was here, you just saw his comment, he lived in the city and stuff, but then he moved over to District 9. And so now there's a big push. Now, tons of African Americans are moving over to District 9 now. So they're literally building up a community, which is fire, you know what I mean? But it's too far, you know? And a lot of them don't come to the city, right? So again, that's the same thing here. Ocean Park, let me just see if I can give you guys a view. It's brand new. Okay, this is the mall, but let me see. Let me give you a better ocean. Is this what I want? Yeah, I think so. No, that's a watch. I'm looking for. I think this is no. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Vin Homes Ocean Park. Vin Homes. Give me Vin Homes. Okay. I don't know why they don't have it. That's weird. But Vin Homes, obviously, it's the biggest company in Vietnam. They own everything. Okay. But Vin Homes, on the other hand, is like they built this whole community. And over here is what is it called? It's called the university. It's the Vin Homes. It's Vin University. And so that's one of the most prestigious universities that's going to be here, right? They have Grand World Park, right? They have this place. If you've seen it, this is over in Ocean Park. Okay, I did a video. Me and my wife did a video here. It's one of my earlier videos, like 2 years ago video. Okay, this place and my video is this place looks like Italy, right? Yeah, it's that video. This is it. This is really cool spot. Okay, this is called Grand World in Ocean Park or in Hanoi, basically. Okay, they call it Grand World. Look at this. This place is awesome, but this is where a lot of the Africans are living. Not this area, not this, but the area. Okay, smart man. Here an apartment will cost you maybe a couple of $100, brand new, high rise, all the amenities you can want. Like think Thailand, but inland, no water, right? They have man-made beaches here, if I can find it. They have a man-made river, as you can see, right? So where's the university? The university is like right here. It's like right in this area. All what I want you guys to understand is that this area is going to be, this whole area is brand new. This whole area is brand new. Straight up. Let me see if I can get a better aerial view for you guys of this area. I mean, this is Long Bien. Look at the surrounding area. Look how green it is. This is what you're going to get. Okay. Just look at the area. This is Long Bien. Okay. It's all green. They have so much room for growth. So much room for growth here. Okay. You wanna build a house? This is where you'll probably build it. Okay. But anyways, we don't need to see all that. But this is brand new. Okay. So I just wanted to show you guys. Let me see. My mouse is. Give me a minute here. Let me come back to you. My mouse is acting funny here. So, all right. So again, I would think twice if you are, again, you want fast access to anything. Okay. It's nothing fast. If you need to go to the city, nothing fast. Okay. It's going to take you easily 45 minutes. Easily 45 minutes. Okay. Okay. Easily 45 minutes. So to get to Hanoi, the old quarter from Long Bien. All right. And so again, if you need, I wouldn't move here if you want peace or if you don't want peace. Okay. Again, Long Bien's going to feel isolating. Honestly. It's so far away from everything. Not a lot of people really, you got to find your community. You got to find your tribe here. I'll be honest. Okay. But in the city, there's people everywhere. There's right there. You can find them. Okay. Here, most people are either in their house, they're in transit, or they're just picking up food and then they're going to go bounce, or they're going to get groceries and then go back home. Okay. That's this kind of area. Okay. Everyone's behind a wall here. All right. So if you're new, don't move here. Straight up. All right. I definitely see some more comments. So let's talk about it. AD, got you. AVL says, yes, I'm looking for rent prices around, laugh out loud, 100 million. Oof. Okay. Woo. Ramel, my boy Ramel says, that's not a place for a single man, I guess. Yeah, for sure. More if you want a wife or a long-term girlfriend. Facts. That is facts. Just like D9. All right. Let's see. AVL says, okay, I found better prices in Long Bien. Yeah. I mean, again, Long Bien, you're going to save money. You're going to save a ton of money. It's isolating from the rest of the vibe of the city. Okay. It's its own thing. That's all I'm saying. It's its own thing. For real. So let's see. Ramel says Long Bien is the equivalent to Grand Park. Long Bien is the equivalent of Grand Park. That is Grand Park where you're at right now? So if it is, then yes. But Grand Park is more built to for like build up. Long Bien is not. Okay. They don't have that. They don't have that in Long Bien. All right, thanks, bro. Long Bien deserves a visit. Yeah, absolutely, AD. Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely does. Ramel says lots more expats moving to D9. Yeah, I know, bro. I'm seeing that. I ain't gonna be one of them, but you're gonna come over here. I ain't seen you in the city in a minute, boy. This is what I'm saying. There are expats like Ramel who are like, I'm good, and they're building communities over there, which I mean, shout out to you guys, man, for real. You guys are building a D9 community like nobody's business. You know what I mean? I see. So I'm proud of you guys, man. Keep it up out there. That's what's up. But it's just too far for me. All right. All right. Ramel says, seen new black flammies here a lot. Yeah, bro. They're all over TikTok. I already know. And yeah, man, get with them, bro. Yeah, if you guys are, you know, I talked about Saigon last night, but if you guys want to move to D9, talk to Ramil. He lives there. He has the 411. I ain't gonna go there though. But I wanna come and I'll do a video with you, brother, and I'll come and show, film it. And let's do it. Let's do a little interview. Let's do another sit down. AD says D7 looks great too, Ramil, in the videos. Yeah, yeah, for sure. D7 is great. D7 is great. I talked about D7 last week, so go on and check that one out. AD says dinner on me, KT, when I visit. Bring the fam. Salute to you, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I'll let the wifey know. Thank you, bro. All right, so let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's keep it moving. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. Don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for your boy. We're on the road to 800 million subscribers. All right, so let's go to Hadong. Now, I told you guys, Hadong is part of the newer, it's newer, but it's where the Viet Qs live, okay? It's where expats who don't really want, like, who don't really care about the culture, who don't really care about the noise of the city, they move over here. Hadong is hella far, but from the old part, it's super far from the old part, like 40 minutes across town, okay? 45 minutes. Let me show you where Hadong is at, all right? Give me a minute. Let me share this with y'all. Hadong. Okay. So you can see we moved a little bit over from a little bit more away. And let me zoom in a little bit. So this is Hadong. Okay. If you can see, it's further than Kaozai. Okay. Kaozai is like right here. Kaozai is like right in here. And it's just and this, it doesn't look far, but it's probably like 20 minutes away from here. Hadong is like the new area, and they call it, from what I remember, a Vietnamese told me that Hadong is like Viet Q area, like it translates into like new Vietnamese or new something like that, like or abroad Vietnamese or something like that. They told me that's what Hadong is. It's a newer community. Has everything. The buildings are going to be newer. Let me find a place where I can show you. How come it doesn't give me the? And they have the metro here. That's the key. I forgot to say that Kaozai has metro. The old part, the old city does not have a metro. That's the benefit of living on the others. Living on the other side of Hanoi. All right, so let me show you. Excuse me. This is all new, okay? It's all new within the last few years, okay? They just started this. They just made this stuff, okay? So obviously you can see where it goes. All right. I've never taken it because I ride a motorbike, but this is Hadong for the most part. Like, just look around. See, we're starting to see more high rises. Yeah, this is where you're going to find majority of the high rises, because now they have room, and they go up. They have permission to go up. Okay, so I'm just trying to find more pictures for you of Hadong. Give me back Hadong. Okay, and I really want to find. Let's see if I can find something over here. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so if you can see, this is Hadong. Okay, this is part of Hadong. Obviously, one area of Hadong. This is not the new area part of Hadong. This is like the older area. Okay. Again, Hadong has all kinds of stuff. Let me see. I just want to find a. So, okay, this is the type of building they have in Hadong. These type of buildings right here. Okay. Majority of Hadong, it looks different than everywhere else in Hanoi, because majority of the buildings look like this. Small, they look fresh, they look brand new. Their exterior is pretty fire. This is a hotel though. But even the houses look like this. Okay, majority of the buildings now, the businesses, they're building it like this. Okay, over here. Yeah, they're building it like this. Okay, so that's moving forward. That's, I feel like that's how they're going to build here in Vietnam. Okay, they want to get rid of the dingy looking Vietnamese style, and they want to raise their level of um, exterior. I forget. I don't even know how to say what I want to say, but anyways, this is a brand new area. Okay, so this is Ha Dong. All right, so let's get into it. Sorry, my mouse is all. All right, so again, Ha Dong, you're gonna have lower rent here. Now, in the newer part of Ha Dong, it's gonna be expensive, but generally in the area, it's way lower rent. Okay, and again, the potential here is that you have more room in your apartment, bigger apartments, right? Better amenities. Okay, this is in Ha Dong. Okay, so I will say this is Ha Dong is good for families. It's good for people who are on a budget, and it's good for the retiree, I'll say. Okay, if you're a retiree and you want to live in Hanoi, I would live over here because it has a lot of international food here. Again, people, this area in particular is used to foreigners. Okay, because whether it's Chinese foreigners, Korean foreigners, Western foreigners, you're generally going to see Eastern foreigners here. Okay, and then local Vietnamese that have that bread as well. Middle class families live here. Okay, because it's cleaner. It's really clean over here, and they just do things differently over here. Okay, it looks way different. Once you cross over from Khao Zai into Ha Dong, you'll notice it. Okay, and you'll notice that, oh, the metro's here. That's cool. All right. So if you work here, perfect. All right. I would live here. I would never live on the other side of the city and live and work over here. That's crazy. It's gonna take you literally 1 hour from from Tay Ho, where I lived, to Ha Dong. It's gonna take you an hour in the morning, easy. If you're trying to get to school or to work, good luck. Okay, live in Ha Dong, work in Ha Dong. If you on that side, if you on the new side, if you live or excuse me, if you work over on the new side, live on the new side. Okay, don't live on the old side. It's just not realistic. Okay, and then it gives you a more realistic. It's more realistic after you understand what Hanoi is all about. Okay, there's two, like I said, two sides: old side, new side. They're completely opposite of each other. Okay, old means you have old money. It's history, culture. New side is like, it's like the modern Vietnam. Okay, to be honest, if you are brand new, I would think twice about moving to Ha Dong. I wouldn't move to Ha Dong because, again, even though it's modern, it's still, it you don't understand what Ha Dong is all about. So I wouldn't move here, to be honest. I would stick on, if you're new to Hanoi, stick on the culture side, the old side. Okay, Tay Ho, old quarter, all that stuff. Stay on that side first. Just give yourself a year, okay, on that side, and then once you understand the culture of Hanoi, then you go to Ha Dong. But you've had a year, right? So hopefully you've went over to Ha Dong, you went onto that side, and you're like, oh, this is cool. You'll notice the difference. You really will notice the difference. All right. I would not live in Ha Dong if you need to be central. Okay. Remember, central is the old side. Okay. The more established side. All right. I would not live in Hadong or those other outer areas if you are single and you are highly, highly social, like my boy Ramel. All right. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it because it's it's more of a local area, and again, you don't know where to go. Okay. Now it's cool. You can experiment and go and check it out. It's fine, but don't move there if you're looking for girls or men. Because generally everyone's just passing by. Okay. I wouldn't move there if you are choosing it only because the rent is cheaper. Don't do that. Don't do that because you're going to be isolated. Okay. If you work there, live there. That's the only reason why I would live in Hadong, straight up. All right. All right. I see one comment over here. Two comments. AD, my man AD says, tell us about a good base where I can travel and visit other countries like China, Cambodia, Thailand, etc., etc. Um, hmm. So if are you talking about a city or are you talking about in Hanoi? So I'll look for your comment. But if you're talking about Hanoi, a good base would be Tay Ho because you're closer to the airport. And so you're literally 20-25 minutes just straight shot to the airport. Whereas if anywhere else in the city, it's going to take you an hour, 45 minutes to an hour minimum. Okay. But as far as tell us about a good base where I can travel and visit other countries. As far as like city wise, uh, it really doesn't matter. Um, because you can in Ho Chi Minh, the airport's the new airport's far. That's gonna be a problem for all of us. But if they continue to use the airport here in the city, no problem. Okay, Da Nang, the airport in the city, Ho Chi Minh in the city, Hanoi outside of the city. So that's why I'm saying live in Tay Ho if you really want to. If you're an airport person and you're traveling all the time, do that. Live in Tay Ho. Okay. I hope I answered that for you. Thank you for that comment, brother. AD says, infrastructure, KT. I am willing to be your producer for free. Finger red number one. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Infrastructure. I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. Specify for me. All right. Thank you, AD. Appreciate you, brother. So let's keep it moving. I'm almost done here, guys. Thank you for rocking with me, man. I told you we're going into a deep dive in these cities because I don't see anyone talking about deep dives on each city. All right. So, and I've lived here, so I know these areas. Like literally, I know these areas. So, what is the rent? What is the rent expectation? Excuse me. What is the rent expectation and the housing reality? So the housing reality, let me answer that first. All right. You're not going to have a problem here. Okay. It's very affordable to live in Hanoi. Okay. I'm going to be honest, for a big city, it's the most affordable. Da Nang is not a big city. So I don't even count Da Nang as a big city. I count Da Nang as a tier 2 city. Okay, but like everyone counts it as a 1. Okay, so I'll be honest, Hanoi is very affordable when it comes to rent. Now I've talked about rent and throughout this live in each one of the cities. All right, if you're just joining me now, we talked about Tay Ho. Okay, Tay Ho is going to be, as far as rent, it's going to be on the higher side. Okay, I'm talking about $500 to $1,000. Okay, you can find more, you can find less, but that's the mid range for Tay Ho. Okay, for Ba Dinh in the center of the city, it's going to be about the same. Okay, again, you can find more, a higher, You can find less. Okay. Hoan Kiem Lake, about the same. Khao Zai is going to be about 300 for a one bed to about 600, 700 max on the high end. Khao Zai. Long Bien, probably about 300 to about 800. No, 300 to about 750. I'll be honest. Probably $700. Okay. And in Long Bien, you'll find a house. Okay. For that. You can find houses for that. As far as the last one, Hadong, it's going to be anywhere between 300 USD for a one bedroom, big, modern, to 1200. Okay. USD. All right. So you can find higher, you can find lower, okay, in every area. But for you guys, you're international. We have standards. We have a standard, okay? Not saying that Vietnamese don't, but we have a standard, okay? So yeah, that's what you're gonna spend. Hanoi has real winter. It has hot, humid summers. Ugh, I don't miss those. But then I'm out here and it's hot every day. All right. And then the buildings that handle seasons very differently. So you have a building where I lived. You have my apartment. There wasn't double pane. So if it were cold, I felt the cold. If it were hot, I felt the heat. If the AC was on, AC would go out the window. Just saying. I've been to friends' houses in Hanoi. They have double pane in Long Bien, double pane house. What do you call those? Row houses? A row house. So a one-story house, a row house, probably about 3 bedroom for like $500. Yeah, big backyard and all that shit. Yeah, I mean, you can find anything. You just need to have the right. You need to have the right real estate agents. If you need, hit me up. I'll refer you over to some. Okay. Kevin T at thestoryofkt.com. All right. Hit me. You want to make sure that when you're checking out these apartments, these houses, check airflow. Okay. Hanoi is known for Hanoi and Vietnam are known for damp and humid mold. So make sure that you peep that when you're walking. A lot of them you got to ask. Okay, you must ask, but it's easy. Just spray. They have spray here. You can make it yourself, so it's natural and it's not toxic. But generally, expect mold. Okay, expect dampness, and because it's just humid. Okay, make sure again, like I said at the very beginning of this live, check the water pressure. Make sure you check the internet speed, and then obviously you're gonna want to check the noise. Now this is kind of different because generally the noise is gonna happen in the evening, and if you're looking at a place in Long Bien, there's no way in hell you're gonna go all the way back to Long Bien to drive another 40 minutes again to check out if there's noise or not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. Okay. So I know you're not. So just understand that the noise doesn't happen when you go check it out during the day. It happens at night. All right. So whatever you got to do, make 2 appointments. 1 during the day, 2 at night. All right. A cheaper apartment can cost you in the commute, in your health, your comfort, and the daily stress. Example, all right? Commute. That's self-explanatory. You want to save a few $100 and you want to live 30 minutes outside of 40 minutes outside of your work, you're going to pay the price. I promise you. You should pay the extra money, negotiate, but pay the extra money so that you can be closer and have less stress. I promise you, you're gonna be stressed, especially in Hanoi. If you live on the old side and you work on the new side, I promise you, you're going to hate yourself. Trust me. Okay. So if you work on the old side, live on the old side. Okay. You'll save time, your health, because obviously all the fumes, the air pollution, the stress, waking up earlier, you're gonna be worried, you're gonna be doing that more than chilling. Okay, so trust me, you'll thank me later, I promise. Make sure that you test the route, okay, during the real traffic hours, okay, between 6:30 a.m. This is everywhere in Vietnam. Between 6:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. 9 o'clock in the morning. This is every city. That is rush hour. Okay. Let me say that again. Between 6:30 a.m. and around 9 o'clock a.m. throughout nationwide, that is rush hour traffic. Plan accordingly. Okay. You leave before 6:30, you're in the clear. Okay. The hot second it touches 6:30, you're going to be in traffic. I promise you. I promise you. Okay. I did this for 3 years. I promise you. Okay. So make sure you test your route. If you work here, if you don't have to worry about this. But if you work here, make sure that you go during rush hour traffic in the morning and test it out. You're gonna be like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. However, rush hour traffic for the evening is anywhere from 4:30, between 4:30 and 4:45, but 4:30, let's call it 4:30 and 6:30 generally. I'm giving a little bit more on the back end just because I know that it fluctuates. Okay, there's always 2 hours in between. Okay, 2 hours for rush hour on the front end, 2 hours on the back end. Okay, any time after that, you're straight. You're going to generally have no traffic. Okay, and then do not sign long-term leases until you know what area actually works for you. I preach about this all the time. I honestly, don't sign long-term if you don't have a job yet. There's so many different variables and factors that go into it. If you're new here, go and get an apartment, have your interview, do your little paperwork and all that stuff, okay? And then go get an apartment. All right? Don't go get an apartment first because you don't know where you're going to work unless you know where you're going to work. And you know what? I got to give you a little sprinkle nugget real quick. And when I say nuggets, that means a tip. Let me give you a little nugget, okay? If you're new here, if you've been here, you know what I'm saying. Don't sign anything until you work. Let me say that again. Don't sign anything until you work. Okay? As far as an apartment, because they have different locations. Okay? I'm just saying. They might send you over here and send you over here and send you over here. And you may have 5 different schools or 7 different schools where they're opposite of each other, right? One's on, like, 5 are on the new part, 3 are on the old part of the city. So where are you gonna live? If I were you, I'd live in Kaohsiung because Kaohsiung is in the middle. Boom, boom. Okay? See, you don't know until you know. All right? That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't live in the old and I wouldn't live in the new. If you have a situation like that, I would pick in the middle. Okay? For sure. And then, obviously, your lifestyle. That's going to be huge. Your lifestyle is huge. So you guys understand now, like, why I preach about you have to know. You have to have a plan, one, and you have to know the city first, where you want to live based on your lifestyle. Second, within that city, you have to know which district. Guan, Quan. What Guan are you going to live in? Guan. Okay, that's district. What district are you going to live in within the city? Okay, no matter what city it is, it's all the same. And then within that city, which Phuong, 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 which Phuong are you going to pick? That's neighborhood. Okay, within that Quan. So again, the Phuong, the ward or neighborhood, ward, WARD, that's neighborhoods. It's different. It all is different. It's all different. Okay. There's, again, I said this last week, I'm gonna say it again. There could be potentially 12 different phuongs or wards or neighborhoods. And I'm not talking about just a tiny little neighborhood. I'm talking about big neighborhood districts, big phuongs, okay, within the district. Some are small, some are big, all right? You need to make sure you tell your real estate agent, because here you look based on the street of where you want to live. I know, man. I know, I get it. I get it. How, right? This is why I exist, okay? Because I've been there, I've done it, and I've made the same mistakes. All right? So it's cool to have someone like that. Now you know me, now you know of me. Now make sure you subscribe and hit that like button, but message me anytime, okay? Email me anytime. I say it all the time. Most of you don't, okay? The only real smart ones are the ones who actually do, okay? So shout out to all of you, all right? And yeah, I got one thing I want to say at the end. I want to shout out a person who donated big for me, who donated big to me yesterday. And I just want to shout out they wanted to stay anonymous, but they said real people, I ain't gonna say what they said, but real people move in silence. Okay. Shout out to you, my brother. Thank you. All right. You know who you are. Okay. I really appreciate you, man, for real. All right. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Who should live where? Well, if you're new, start in Tay Ho. I've been saying this all live. Start on the established side, the old side. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right. I know. If you guys, there's a lot of people coming in and out of this live. I'm seeing. So you probably knew. All right. But this is the old side. The old side of Hanoi. Tay Ho, Old Quarter, down here, you don't have to worry about it, but this is Time City. Like, my wife lived down here, okay? Like, right down here, like over here somewhere, okay? And I lived up here, just to give you guys perspective, okay? From here to here is like 30 minutes, easy, about 40 minutes, one way, okay? This from like let's split Hanoi into two right here. Okay. This is the old side. This is the new side. Okay. So when I'm saying old side, new side, if you're new, start over here. Okay. Get to know the city. This is Tay Ho. Start this whole area. Tay Ho. This whole area is Tay Ho. Okay. And if you're just joining me, Chuk Bak, go hit the rewind, okay? After I'm done, go hit the playback. But Chuk Bak, I would live in Chuk Bak, okay? It's a really cool area. If you're new, start over on this side. Don't start over here, okay? I don't care if you have a girlfriend that you met online and she lives over here. You live over here, okay? Because you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing over here. You just know her or him. Don't move over here, okay? If you're new, move over here. Trust me, okay? Let me go back to you. Let me come back to you. Okay, if you're a remote, okay, so new to Hanoi, start your short term in Tay Ho, Ba Dinh, Hoan Kiem Lake, or Khao Sai if work is nearby. Okay, Khao Sai if work is nearby. Okay, remember Khao Sai is in the middle. I wouldn't live in Khao Sai if you're new. I wouldn't do that. But however, if you're new, excuse me, if you're working near Khao Sai, I would live there. Okay, but your social life's gonna struggle big time. All right, if you care about that. Number two, remote workers. If you're a remote worker, I would prioritize the quiet areas or the quiet Quans districts. Make sure you have great internet. Okay, you can buy the internet yourself, and you can switch it out. I think we pay. I think I paid like maybe like $50 for 7 months. Yeah, I think I paid like $50 for 7 months, and that's the high fiber optic. Okay, fast. Okay, it's good. Make sure you can. I would prioritize cafes, gyms, the daytime, and your food situation. Okay, if you're a teacher, number one rule: live near your school or around it. Okay, literally, a bad commute will ruin your whole time in Hanoi, in Vietnam in general. It will ruin it. Trust me. Trust me when I say this. You didn't come here to commute, okay, one way. Just 30 minutes, 40 minutes one way. Stay home and do that, okay? You're a foreigner. You can afford it. So spend a little bit of extra money to live nearby, okay? And then that way you can wake up later, you can walk down, get coffee, start slower, you know what I mean? As opposed to rushing out of the house, okay? It makes a big difference. If you are dating focused, I would absolutely stay in social areas. Tay Ho, Ba Dinh, Hoan Kiem Lake. Okay. Again, Ba Dinh at night is not popping, but it's in the center, so you have easy access, and that's why I included it. Okay. So I would stay in social areas. Khao Sai, no. I said the social areas already. Tay Ho, Ba Dinh, and Hoan Kiem Lake, okay? But do not build your whole existence on dating alone. Trust and believe. Make friends. Have fun. But don't move here for dating, okay? Specifically, okay? Include that into your repertoire, okay? Have fun, but that should be your plan C, okay? Or if no plan at all, okay? Like me, I just went with the flow. 4 years later, I'm married, okay? Family or serious partner, all right? Think schools. If you're a family or you guys are married, just you and your partner are married, I would think about schools. If you're gonna have children, think about the schools here. I would think about grocery stores. Annam, Annam, Annam Gourmet is the international chain here. So they cost way more money, 30 to 40% more than anywhere else in all of Vietnam, okay, grocery wise. But you'll be able to have your staples, international staples, right? I don't really. I go grab little things like if I want like, I don't know, man, like some Quaker oats. I don't know. I don't eat Quaker oats, but Quaker oats, right? That comes from the U.S., right? You can buy oatmeal here, but if you want specific things, go to that place. Okay. I would think about healthcare. I would think about how quiet it is in the neighborhoods, and then what's your long-term routine. All right. So, I mean, honestly, that would be good for you guys. All right. That's a good little balance of 5 different profiles that I think you guys where you can live here in Hanoi or up in Hanoi. All right. So let me tell you guys, our next week we're talking about all Da Nang. Okay. So last week we talked about Saigon and Ho Chi Minh City. Go check out last week's. It's the last live. Okay. Obviously today we talked about Hanoi, and next week we're going to talk about Da Nang. Okay, so I'm gonna break it down for you guys. Again, Da Nang is not just a cheaper beach life. Man, we're going to talk about areas, boredom. We're going to talk about rainy season. We're going to talk about social life as well, because that's huge. All right, so I'm going to give you guys the biggest risks, the best areas to research in Da Nang. All right, and which areas that I would avoid, honestly. All right, so I want you guys to use this series, this live series, as your your plan, your research. Okay, you stop the guessing. Okay, stop guessing about Vietnam and start making a plan for real. Don't guess here, man. Take the time to either email me, send me a message directly on any social platform, okay, whatever one you're comfortable with, and I actually do get back to you, okay? I am here as a resource for you guys, okay? I answer questions all day long for free, all right? I also have consultations. I also help people relocate here. I have a relocation business. So I'm super upfront with that. Okay. And so I do have a website and resources for you guys. Let me show you, man. So you guys can see that, this is what we do, man. So this is, let me get out of here. This is the website. Go to the story of KT, thischannelsname.com. That's it. All right. And this is what you'll come up to. Okay. You guys can, obviously, that's me. Hello. Okay. But you guys will see this. I have a ton of resources on here for you. Okay. A ton. Go check it out. Okay. If you have questions beyond this, and it doesn't answer any of your specific questions, then message me. Okay. And you just hit me right here. There's a contact form right there. Boom. Hit me up. Okay. I built this for you guys. Okay. All right. So that just go there. Okay. If you're Vietnamese. All right. Boom. So this place, my website has a ton of resources. Use it. Okay. Then if you have any other questions, hit me up. All right. No problems, guys. We're here for each other. Okay. Yes, I want to make money, but I want to help you. Okay. More. Okay. So don't try to shortchange me. Okay. Just do me right. I do you right. Okay. Straight up. That's how I rock. All right. So you're thinking about it. Here's some resources for you guys. Here's how to hit me up. Go check out the travel guides. The launch sale ends on June 25th. All right, where you can get all three of the travel guides: Da Nang, Hanoi, and Ho Chi Minh City for $10, $9.99. Okay. Dating guides, same thing. You can get 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. All my words, okay, straight up. Based on my 6 years of experience here dating all ages. I'm doing a dating series right now. I just dropped the foundation video a couple days ago. Literally, go check that one out. It's the foundation of the dating series. Okay, so the next I have is dating in your 20s, dating in her 20s. Okay, so I'm going to do 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. Okay, all what I have experience with. Okay, just put you up on game. And if you guys want to hit me up, there's my email, kevint@thestorykt.com. I have some comments. Let me see what's up here. Ramel, my man Ramel says, who is more open-minded and easier to vibe with, Hanoians or Ho Chi Minh cities? Mostly mean the ladies. I was hoping you meant the ladies. I would say, I mean, you know what I'm gonna say, man. You know, but I'm gonna go with the Hanoi people. Straight up. I know. That it's different, right? That's crazy. I know. You thought I would say Ho Chi Minh City. No. Mm-mm. You know, it's different, man. And this is going to be a different video. This is going to be a different video, but I'm going to say a little nugget right now. The Hanoians, although they're straight-faced, they're straight-faced. Once you crack them, they're yours forever, man. These people over here in Ho Chi Minh City, they're fake, straight up, fake. Yeah, straight up. At least I know where I stand with people in Hanoi, and that's the women too. That includes the women. At least I know where they stand up there. Over here in Ho Chi Minh, I'm guessing, bro. I don't like it. If you don't like me, then tell me you don't like me. That's fine. But don't be smile. Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, great. Okay, let's go. And then all day long you're hanging out, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, you're like, huh? Or bye, I'll see you later, and then never hear from them again. They block you. You're like, what? We had a great time. I spent a hell of money on you. What? Yeah. So up there, it's either yes or no. That's it. They won't even fuck with you. So yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna say Hanoi, straight up. The girls are better. The girls are better. All right. You and I have talked about this. You and I have talked about this a lot. So I would absolutely say Hanoi for sure. All right. Let me get to some more comments here. Thanks, Ramel. Appreciate you, my man. AD says, okay, thanks. It was helpful. You were looking for a word to describe the changes in the old to new buildings. Yes, I was. I'll come back to you, AD. AD says, Ramel, if I roll with you, I will not be single for long. Just a joke. Enjoy your weekend, people. Yeah, you too, AD. Yeah, so you were looking for a word to describe the changes in the old to new buildings. Yeah, I mean, they're just destroying. I mean, it's modern Vietnam. They're just destroying everything. The older structures and building everything up new. So again, all these multi-conglomerate companies, construction companies, are building up. They're no longer building out, right? And then in like places like D9, where they actually have land, because they've demolished things, or in Long Bien where they demolished everything, they can actually build out. But majority of the cities here, up. So yeah. I don't know what I was trying to say either. So thank you, AD. Appreciate you. CJ, that's J, right? Yeah, CJ Uptown. What's up, my man? Salute to you. CJ says, hey, KT, did you hear about the foreigner in Da Nang who vandalized that coffee shop? What's your thoughts on it? Thank you for asking, actually. Yes, of course I did. It's a huge thing right now. It's been hugely talked about. Obviously, CJ. My opinion is the guy, so he had some he's going through, I think he just had a break, a psychiatric break. And so they were saying he's like bipolar or whatever. But again, I have a hard time believing, because he choked out a person. He choked them out. He went upstairs. He threw a laptop down. So he was in his right mind enough to do those kind of things, which I don't agree with. But he just didn't reach out to anyone, Like, you don't do shit like that here. You just don't do it. All right. if you have mental issues, stay home. Don't bring it here. You ruin it for everybody here. So my opinion is that, but then also people in the comments, and this is where I have a problem with, is because when it's a black person or a brown person who does it, then we're monsters. But then all the black people and all the brown people are monsters. But then when it's a white person, then he has a mental break, or he has a mental, he has bipolar, and there's some fucking excuse. I'm sick of the excuses, right? If the Vietnamese don't deserve that. So my opinion is that that guy deserves everything he gets. He gets all the smoke. He wanted the smoke. He should get all the smoke. And there's been a rash of white entitled foreigners who keep destroying the goodwill of the Vietnamese people. For all of us, whether you're white, black, brown, or purple, it doesn't matter. Your bad behavior reflects on all of us. All right. Just because you're white doesn't mean that they won't look at me any differently. Right. Yeah, they'll be like, oh, okay, he's white, it's fine. But they're gonna, in their mind, they're like foreigner. So I don't thank you, AD. I see infrastructure. Thank you. I don't see him getting out of this. Obviously, dude caused over 27,000 USD in damage, 500 million VND in damages. Come on, man. But the only problem I have is all the people in the comments making excuses for this dude. Okay, all the white people in the comments like, a lot of them were like, dude, this guy sucks, which is, I was like, cool. But a lot of them were making a hella excuses for this dude, and I don't like that. Okay, he did that. He showed his ass. He deserves everything he gets. If I did that, I deserve everything I get. If anyone did that, you deserve everything you get. Straight up. Okay, we need to respect this country, man. All right, we're guests. We need to remember that. Okay, just because I'm married here, I'm still a guest, man. They kick my ass out real quick. Okay, black, brown, or white, it doesn't matter. You're a foreigner. So that's all of us. That's all of us. Okay, so yeah, I don't like what he did, obviously, and it doesn't matter if he's white to me because he's a foreigner, and that looks bad on all of us. All right, I just don't like all the white sympathizers making excuses for him and then trashing brown and black people in the comments alongside that. It's not good, man. It's not good. All right. So yeah, truly appreciate you. Thank you for that question, CJ. Appreciate it. Ramel AD. Thank you, AD. I saw that infrastructure. And Ramel says Da Nang is not it. Oh, Da Nang is not it anymore. Yeah, I agree. It's not good. I've never advocated for Da Nang. And that's why I don't talk about Da Nang on this channel quite often. All right, because it's just it's a vacation. We as people, expats who've been here, it's a vacation spot. It's not like a big city. It's just a place you go for a few days or a week and have a good time. But all these people from Europe, as Ramel would say, is all these expats or all these travelers are coming over there, and they're muddying the Da Nang waters over there, straight up. No pun intended. And I mean, it's just ignorant because they see a beach and they see affordability, and they're really making it unaffordable for the locals. And that's the real heartbreak. Seriously. So I don't know, man. I want everyone to have a good time. I just want everyone to respect, right? Because I wouldn't have been here if I didn't respect this country for the last 6 years. Okay. So it's unfortunate, but you have to respect, man, because if you don't, um, the Vietnamese people are great, and they're great people, and they're going to save face first. You have to understand that they're going to save face. And what I mean by that is they're not going to say shit to you. They'll just tell someone else. All right. And it just looks bad. Okay. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah. Da Nang is Europe. All right. CJ says, thank you, Ramel. CJ says, I'm in Da Nang right now. The only thing I like here is the beach, to be honest. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's why my wife and I, we were, the funny thing, 2 years ago, we were picking between Da Nang and we were picking between Ho Chi Minh City. And so since I lived here before, I was kind of like, I don't want to go back to a big city. I just spent 3 years in Hanoi. I want to go to, I want to go to Da Nang. Woo! I'm so happy I didn't. Trust me. I'm so happy. Okay. Because we would have moved down here regardless. Okay. Da Nang, for y'all who don't know, Da Nang is just a vacation spot. It's not meant for long-term living. Okay. Maybe in the future that'll be it, but right now it's not meant for it. You guys can see everyone's on top of each other there. Okay. It's the infrastructure. Thank you, AD. The infrastructure is not ready for them. That's why there's a lot of construction. I've been saying this. For forever. Yeah, that's why I like going to Da Nang. I like going to visit. That's it. I would never live there. Be safe out there, CJ. All right, man. I think that's gonna do it for me, guys. I got a ton of stuff to do, man. So I truly appreciate you guys rocking with your boy. Don't forget, if you guys are feeling generous, want to help your brother out, hit the Cash App, the story of KT, or $ the story of KT. It's not necessary, but if you want to help the channel, support your boy, I appreciate it. If not, hit that like button and subscribe and share this, man. That's the least that we could do, right? I'm here to help you guys, man. Go hit the website, and I really appreciate you guys. See you guys. I'll see you later if you guys are going to be here. Remember, I'm doing a live later, and I'm going to talk about this whole, hashtag blackout. All right. So I'll be back in a few hours. Okay, to come and talk to you live. All right. We're gonna talk about it. I got some heat for that one. Peace.